Okay, we're going to call this second public hearing to order. Judy, go ahead and read the notice, please.
Notice of public hearing, the Essex County Agriculture and Farmland Protection Board, Agricultural District Number 1. Please take notice that the Essex County Board of Supervisors will hold and conduct a public hearing at the Supervisors Chambers in Essex County Government Center, 7551 Court Street, Elizabethtown, New York, on the first day of May 2017 at 9:30 a.m. on Agricultural District Number 1, upon recommendations of Essex County Agriculture and Farmland Protection Board to add and remove parcels. Listings of all parcels to be added and or removed will be available on maps outlining those parcels are available on the table here in the boardroom. Please take further notice. Recommendations of the Agriculture and Farmland Protection Board note that the agricultural districts in Essex County have been in existence since 1973, and the district has helped agriculture remain a viable industry in Essex County. The land is to be included is 90% soils of statewide importance and is highly productive, capable of sustaining the economic and long-term commitment to agricultural enterprises if certain protections are provided. Please take further notice that the Essex County has a New York State Certified Agriculture District Number 1 of 62,341.2 acres. This addition is under Article 25AA PDF of the Agricultural and Markets Law for annual inclusion of farms with greater than 50% soils of prime or important statewide importance. Please take further notice that it said public hearing to be held at the time and place set forth above. The Essex County Board of Supervisors will hear all persons interested therein concerning the same. Judith A. Garrison, Clerk of the Board. It's dated April 17th, 2017.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Dave, you want to come up and explain it? Again, I wasn't here for this when it started, so I have no idea what it's about. And I plan on using this excuse as long as I can get away.
Good morning. I'm Dave Reckon with Essex County Soil and Water Conservation. I've kind of taken over the review process here, and we're in the final review. Currently, we have to add to the Ag District, we have a total of 71 parcels with a total of 4,173.32 acres. And those are listed on the map here, and they're outlined in, I believe it's a green color. And then there is 12 parcels totaling 503.98 acres, and those are also identified on the map. And anybody that's interested here to make any comments on the parcels to be removed, they can stay in at this time if anybody has any comments on that. And also we will still take addition, if you want to look at the parcels to be added, they're here for review. And if anybody would like to add any further parcels, we will still accept them at this time.
Mr. Tyler.
Yeah, Dave, could you briefly explain the requirements needed to change to Ag District and the benefits to be on that district?
Okay, the requirements as it was explained in Judy was that more than 50% of the parcel has to have soils of state importance to be capable of...
Do individual people apply to get this?
And individual people can apply to get it. So as long as you have a parcel that they've determined that has capable soils, and now that determination is kind of waived a little bit too, because they're also accepting a large part of our area here is maple production, which those soils are not used for agricultural purposes such as farming, but they are good for growing, sugar maple trees. And so some of the poorer soils will also qualify as long as it's an agricultural enterprise. So that's more what we're looking at is on the tax rolls, that parcel has an agricultural designation as it is being used for agriculture, probably more than actually the soils at this point. The big part of it is that a landowner can apply for an agricultural exemption without being in the Ag District currently, so that it does not require that. But the biggest part of the ag district benefits are that a landowner that is within the ag district, as long as they are doing sound farming practices, doesn't mean that they're dumping manure on their neighbor's backyard or doing things that are outside of ag and market sound farming practices. It means if they're doing things according to what ag and market says and is proper, then the neighbors have to adjust for that. In fact, what happens is once you're put into the ag district, then your real estate agent is required to put a statement onto that property that there are farms in the area that are farming according to sound agricultural practices, and you have to look out for them. They have the preference. And so as long as you're doing things according to what Ag and Market says is a sound agricultural practice, they will send their attorneys up if you have a nuisance lawsuit against you to protect that farm. So that's the biggest benefit of being within the ag district, is to keep the land in farming, keep it being used, and as long as those farmers are doing things according to sound farming practices, then ag and markets will protect those farms.
Is there a tax benefit?
What's that?
Is there some kind of tax benefit?
No, there is a tax benefit. You can still get the agricultural exemption. But as I said, currently you can get the ag exemption whether you're in the parcel, you're in the ag district or not. So you do not have to be in the ag district.
And you regulate that? You go out and check them all the time?
The Soil and Water District does do what we call the soil group worksheets to determine what the soil capability class for every soil that's on that farm, and we turn that over to the assessor, and they use the state-accepted worksheet for what the capability of each one of those soils is for the agricultural exemption according to New York State, and we do those worksheets, yes.
Mr. Politi? So, David, you have maps here that outline the configuration of parcels that are to be added into the ag district.
Yes.
But my question is, other than reviewing soil data that may be online or given to you, have these parcels been inspected as to their suitability for ag uses or sound farming practices? Is there a difference between somebody who has a so-called gentleman farm that has corrals and fields but no farm animals, but wants an agricultural exemption? So how are we policing what goes in and what doesn't go in? Or is it possible some of the land is all woodland and not sugar maple trees?
Right. Okay, there's two categories here. One is, as I said, the ag exemption. You do not have to be in the ag district, but in order to get the tax benefits, you have to qualify as a farming enterprise. You have to earn $10,000 or more of farm income. It can be, and it's gross.
That's the typical exemption.
Right, and for the exemption. But to be included in the ag district, you just have to, one, have the capable soils or some sort of agricultural enterprise that the county feels fits the bill as an agricultural parcel, and it doesn't matter whether you meet those income requirements, so you do not have to. One of the things that we are working on is that we do go out, we do plans with many of these farms, so we do get an opportunity to see them between ourselves and Cooperative Extension, so most of these farms has been visited.
I understand that, there's no question about the farms probably in Willsboro and Westport, Essex, and those kind of places. My concern more is in Keene and North Elba, right, and St. Armand and so forth. Are they really farms, or are they,
I can tell you that
that's my question.
Right. Well, I can tell you that I know from experience that some of these are not full-time farms, are just part-time farms. Some of them are, as you say, they're a hobby farm. As long as they have the soils and they're doing some sort of farming, they fit the bill to fit into the ag district.
What does some sort of farming mean? Planting a garden.
Have somebody,
I got two of those. Somebody taking the hay off their land, is that qualified? If they get 10,000.
I believe so, as long as they're doing some sort of farming on the practice, as long as you have some sort of animals, you're taking in some sort of crops. Normally, we try to get something where they're actually selling a commodity, but as I said, to be in the ag district, it does not mean that you have to meet the $10,000.
Joe Pete, but I believe you've mentioned before that maple production is one of the things that qualifies.
Right.
I look at the property in my town that's, trying to get into district, and I know they run a big sugaring operation, so would that...
And that qualifies, right. And maple syrup is an agricultural commodity.
Mr. Gilliland, you were next. Are you okay?
I mean, the advantage, because I'm in the ag district, and the advantage of having that, as Dave said, is the fact that I have pigs on my farm, I have chickens, I have sheep, I have beef and things like that. If I'm doing normal agricultural practices, my neighbors can't complain because of the smell or those kind of things. They can complain all they want, but they can't take action against me for zoning and things like that.
Right, and actually we had the issues recently on that because people are using sheep and goats, and one of the things that we have in this county is we also have animals that like to eat sheep and goats. So one of the big issues was that a lot of people are going to the guard dogs, and it's the only way they can keep their sheep and goats safe. And the issue is that the guard dogs that they're purchasing are dogs that stay out with these animals, and these animals sometimes don't even have any shelters. The dogs don't have shelters. So we were getting complaints that, they felt they were being cruel, but these were dogs that were used to. This is how they survive. If you try to go out and take these dogs away from those sheep, you'll find out why they're out there.
Mr. Monti, do you have a question or a comment?
Are we tethering dogs?
But that's just a practice that Ag and Markets is standing behind, because these are a working animal.
Understood. But just because you're in the ag district doesn't mean you get the agricultural exemption. Am I correct? You don't automatically get it.
No, as I said, some of these people that are coming into the ag district are coming in, and they only may make a couple $1,000. They don't qualify, but they are looking for the protection because they do have a property that qualifies because they are doing some sort of an agricultural commodity, and they have the soils that qualify.
Mr. Morrow.
I don't know, it might have been said earlier and I just wasn't listening, but there is one exemption to getting the ag district discount for your tax exemption is you don't need to do $10,000. If you have a legitimate farm that, like Adirondack Farms is going over buying a lot of farms all around the area, they can sign up and get you the ag exemption. If they're adding your farm to their farm, they can get it, and you don't need to do the $10,000. It's part of theirs because they do that. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Tyler?
I guess my major concern is properties, just to use it for a tax write-off. But people have land that they have hay on it, and they've had somebody come in and farm the hay off it for years and years, but they don't have a tractor themselves. They don't own any equipment. I'm just concerned that this is being used for not the right reasons.
Well, as Jerry just mentioned, if you do have hayfield on your property and you have a farm that qualifies for the exemption, come in and harvest that hay, that area that they harvest is eligible for the exemption. But the difference is, if you qualify as a farm, we look at your whole farm. If you qualify for an exemption because you're renting it to the other farm, the only thing of your property that qualifies is exactly where that farmer takes his product from. So if he takes 10 acres of hay, that's all you get, is 10 acres, even if you own 200 acres. If then the guy next door rents 500 sugar maples from you, just a quarter acre, then that's all that qualifies, is just that little area that he is getting his product off from. That's the only thing that qualifies when somebody else rents your land.
Mr. Harrington, did you have a question?
I had understood with a discussion that I had with you that there was no financial incentives with ag districts now.
You still can get the ag exemption when you're in there, but yes, there's no real financial incentive to, just because you're in the ag district does not give you anything unless you qualify for the ag exemption. The ag district does not give you any kind of benefit tax-wise, just being in the ag district if you don't qualify for the exemption.
Then I don't understand what Jerry's statement is.
Jerry's was about the renting, somebody else renting your property that does qualify.
Other questions, comments, Mr. Tyler?
But these people here, they're applying to get the benefit of it, correct?
What's that? They're applying to get the benefits of a neighbor complaint. There's no tax, there's no necessarily tax break with just being in the ag district unless you qualify for the exemption. What some of these people are that do not qualify for the ag exemption, they're applying to come into the ag district because they would like the protection of ag and markets if somebody in the neighborhood complains against them.
Right, but what I'm seeing here is people who don't have a farm, they don't have any animals, they don't have anything to be, why would they want that protection unless it's for the tax benefit? That's why.
They have to generate $10,000.
Yeah, there is none.
If somebody comes in and gets the hay off your land, that qualifies.
Well, it's
Right.
$1,000, I guess. It's a lot of hay.
It just seems to me, in some instances, a case where some people to use this, probably somebody with a lot of money could use this to help not have to pay their fair share of taxes. That's my only concern.
Any other questions or comments from anyone? Be quick.
Just for the record, I came in a little late, but I want to make sure that the record recites that we do have the report and recommendation of the Bureau, and the map is here, and that you guys have had a full opportunity to take a look at it. And Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, they added 71 parcels, I guess? Is that what you...
Correct, yes.
At 4,173.32 acres. You removed 12 parcels at 503.98 acres. And then, so we have a net addition of 59 parcels, 3,669.34.
The only trouble is I did have 2 possible additions brought to me this morning.
Okay, and those are what? Are they possible additions, or they...
One of them is a landowner that I'm not sure, I'll have to check on that is not in the parcel, but one of them is a landowner that I know of that I just got to get confirmation from them on addition.
You want to put them on right now? You can always take them off, or... Let's go. I guess we can talk about it later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we change it, we've got to have another hearing. Can't add at this point.
Okay.
Mr. Morrow?
To answer Dan's question, the Agricultural Committee did meet at the Cooperative Extension Office one night, and we went over each one of these maps.
Yeah.
And we did agree, we did a resolution through the Ag Committee, and we did agree with these.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Okay, any other comments, questions at this point?